Hello, dear students. I hope all of you are doing very well. All of you are taking a very good care of yourself at home. So, in the series of online lectures in this pandemic situation, now we'll be studying a very interesting chapter which is connected with roads and earthwork. And this chapter is road pavements and their constructions. Whenever we are traveling on the road, as a road user, you have certain requirements, you have certain expectations from the road. So, what are those basic requirements? Those requirements are every road user wants to reach to his destination with maximum comfort, with maximum speed, at the same time with maximum safety. That with speed and comfort, no road user wants to meet with an accident. So, safety, comfort, and speed, these are the three basic requirements of each and every road user. Now, how to fulfill these basic requirements? So, these basic requirements will be fulfilled by proper management or efficient execution of highway engineering department. One of the important factor, one of the important element of this is road pavements and their constructions. How these road pavements should be constructed, how they should be maintained, what are the features of these road pavements, that we are going to study in this particular chapter, road pavements and their constructions. So, first of all, we'll see exactly what is the meaning of road pavement. A layered structure supported over the subgrade soil to form a carriageway of a road is called as road pavement. Now, layered structure, all of you know that whenever we see any road pavement or the final road, when we see, normally we see the topmost layer of road, that is also called as wearing course or wearing surface of a road. But below that, there are different layers which are constructed, which form the major portion of a road pavement. So, this entire road is supported, is resting on the bottommost layer, and that layer is called as layer of subgrade. So, a layered structure supported over the subgrade soil to form the carriageway of a road is called as road pavement. Now, what are the requirements of good road pavement? Already I told you what are the basic requirements of a road user. So all these requirements which are given, they are connected to fulfill the basic requirements of a road user. Have a look at the first requirement. It should be strong and durable. Whenever road pavement is constructed, it should be strong. It should be strong means what? It should withstand against various stresses which are induced because of the traffic load which is acting over the road surface. At the same time, it should be durable. Durable means what? Road should have resistance to weathering agencies like rain or temperature variations. So, road pavement should be durable. This is the first requirement of a road pavement. Then it should provide an impervious and sanitary surface. All of you know, in rainy season, all of you must have seen it also, that normally in rainy season, road surface gets very seriously damaged. So, it should provide an impervious layer means exactly what? There should not be a scope for rainwater or surface water to get penetrated into the road pavement. When this road surface is pervious, that means there are chances of percolation of this rainwater or surface water inside the road pavement. So this seepage of rainwater that finally results into serious damage to the road pavement. So road surface should have an impervious and sanitary surface. Sanitary surface means what? Whenever rainwater is falling over the road surface, it should be quickly drained off towards the sides of a road, and through the side drain it should be immediately disposed of to the nearby drain or to a nearby cross drainage. So this is the second requirement of a road user. Then the third is it should be smooth enough. Already I told you road surface should give comfort to the road user. To fulfill this requirement, it should be surface should be smooth. So road surface should be smooth so as to give maximum comfort to the road users. Riding over the road surface, that should be very comfortable, that should be very pleasant. And to fulfill this requirement, surface of road should be smooth. Then fourth requirement is it should provide good visibility during night hours. Now when road users, drivers of a vehicle, they are driving over the road surface during night hours, sometimes what happens, road surface is not clearly seen to the road users, and that may result into serious accidents. So road surface should be constructed in such a way that it should have better visibility during night hours also. Then next, it should not glare in the bright sunshine. Now this is also a very important requirement of a road pavement. When road surface is constructed, it should not glare normally when whether it is hot or when sunlight is very bright. In that case, road surface that may result into glare to the eyes of road users. So in that case, that may also result into accident, because of this glare of sunlight, sometimes drivers they lose their visibility, and then also serious accidents they take place. So fifth basic requirement of a road pavement is it should not glare in the bright sunshine. Then sixth requirement is it should have long life. It should have long life. See, whenever the road is constructed, basically government depends upon the funds which are available. So when funds are made available, afterwards it's very difficult to construct the road. So when the road is constructed, it should have long life. That means it should last for a long time. It should remain serviceable for a long time. So this is the sixth requirement of road pavement. Then seventh requirement is it should have less maintenance. When road is not in serviceable condition, that means it requires maintenance. Now when this maintenance work goes on, definitely it creates a lot of inconvenience to the moving traffic. So road surface or road pavement should have less maintenance as far as possible, because maintenance means traffic is to be diverted. That means that may result into traffic congestion. Traffic congestion means delay in traffic. Smooth flow of traffic is obstructed. Average running speed of the traffic that is reduced. So these are the consequences when maintenance takes place. So these are the basic requirements of a road pavement. Then we'll see exactly what are the different types of road pavements. Basically, when we talk about classification of road pavements, now here you understand, do not get confused between classification of roads and classification of road pavements. Classification of roads means that is national highway, then state highway, district roads, village roads. Here we are talking about classification of road pavements. Broadly, these road pavements, they are classified into three categories, out of which the first category is classification according to the cost. According to the cost also, road pavements, they are further subdivided into two types. The first is low cost roads and second is high cost roads. Now what are low cost roads? Roads which are constructed as well as maintained at a low cost are known as low cost roads. So such roads whose construction cost is low as well as maintenance cost is low. That means what? Cost of maintenance. It does not mean that they do not come for maintenance. But when they come for maintenance, maintenance cost is low. So such roads, they are called as what? Low cost roads. Second type of roads according to the cost are high cost roads. So roads which are constructed as well as maintained at a very high cost are called as what? High cost roads. Basically, examples of low cost roads are earth roads, gravel roads and water bound. WBM means water bound macadam roads. On the other hand, cement concrete roads and bituminous roads, they come in the category of what? High cost or high cost roads. So if we want to differentiate between low cost roads and high cost roads, very clearly you can get points of differentiation between low cost roads and high cost roads. For example, in the examination, if question comes, differentiate between low cost roads and high cost roads. First of all, you need to write the definition of each. So first point will be of meaning. What is the meaning of low cost roads? Roads which are constructed as well as maintained at low cost are called as low cost roads. High cost roads, roads which are constructed as well as maintained at a high cost are called as high cost roads. You need to give examples. Examples of low cost roads are earth roads, gravel roads, WBM roads. Then examples of high cost roads are cement concrete roads and bituminous roads. So first 2 points are clear of differentiation. In addition to this, you can also add, normally you all must have seen earth roads, gravel roads and WBM roads. They do not remain in serviceable condition, especially in rainy season. They wear out completely, and that's why these roads, they are not in a serviceable condition, especially in rainy season. On the other hand, you can see cement concrete roads and bituminous roads, they remain in comparatively better condition as compared to low cost roads. So in rainy season, these roads, that is high cost roads, they remain in serviceable condition. So this is the third point of differentiation. Then normally earth roads, gravel roads or WBM roads, they are used either for the construction of village roads or other district roads, whereas these high cost roads, they are preferred for the construction of major district roads, state highways and national highways. So these are the major points of differentiation between low cost roads and high cost roads. So if in the examination question comes like this, differentiate between low cost roads and high cost roads, at least these 4 basic points you should be able to write. In addition to that, after understanding the concept of low cost roads and high cost roads, you can write many points on your own. There is no problem. So next, classification of road payments is classification according to its serviceability. Now serviceability means what? How these roads, they are in a serviceable condition. So on the basis of serviceability, road pavements are further classified into 2 types. One is all weather roads and second is fair weather roads. So what is the meaning of all weather roads? Roads which remain in serviceable condition throughout the year are known as all weather roads. Now throughout the year means including rainy season, or especially we want to focus on rainy season because most of the roads, they do not remain in serviceable condition, especially in rainy season. But all weather roads are the roads which remain in serviceable condition throughout the year, including rainy season. They are called as what? All weather roads. What are the examples of all weather roads? Cement concrete roads and bituminous roads, they come in the category of what? All weather roads. That means high cost roads, they come in the category of what? All weather roads. Then what are these fair weather roads? Roads which do not remain in serviceable condition throughout the year, especially in rainy season. Especially in rainy season, it is very difficult to drive a vehicle on such roads, fair weather roads, or on such roads which are not in a serviceable condition. So those roads are called as what? Fair weather roads. So once again, understand the meaning of fair weather roads, that is roads which do not remain in serviceable condition throughout the year, especially in rainy season, are known as fair weather roads. Normally earth roads, gravel roads and WBM roads, they come in the category of what? Fair weather roads. So water bound macadam roads. Okay, all these roads, they are normally used for village roads or other district roads. So you can also write points of differentiation between these 2 types also, that is all weather roads and fair weather roads. It's very easy to write 4 points of differentiation between these 2 types of roads. Then the third classification is classification under the effect of compressive load or heavy compressive load. Now whenever these roads or road pavements, they are subjected to the traffic load, traffic is moving over the road surface. So finally the load of this traffic, this load will be a compressive load. So this load, first of all, it comes on the topmost layer, that is wearing course of road pavement, and from wearing course, from the topmost layer, it goes down to the layers below. From wearing course, it goes to the base coat. From base coat it goes to the base course. From base course it goes to sub base. From sub base it goes to the subgrade level or subgrade layer. So this is the way how load is transmitted from the layer above to the layer below. So when we talk about flexible roads or rigid road payments, flexible roads under the effect of heavy compressive load. Now obviously when this load limit is exceeded than the bearing capacity of road pavement, definitely failure takes place. Now how that failure takes place, depending on that, this classification is done. Now flexible road pavements are road pavements which can change their shape up to certain extent without rupture. Without rupture means what? Complete separation or complete breaking of road pavement. So here in flexible road pavements, you will not find that completely layers are separated from each other, or there is complete a breaking line in between the two layers, or in between the same layer also you can find that there is a transverse separation in the same layer. So flexible road pavements are road pavements which can change their shape without a rupture. There is no rupture in between the layers. Some depression will be formed definitely, but there will not be a complete rupture. So such roads, they are called as what? Flexible roads. Examples of flexible roads are earth roads, gravel roads, WBM roads, even bituminous roads also, they come in the category of flexible road pavements. Here you understand, in the previous two classifications, bituminous roads was with cement concrete roads, but when we talk about effect under the heavy compressive load, then definitely bituminous roads, they come in the category of what? Flexible road pavements. Then what are rigid road pavements? Road surface or road pavements which cannot change their shape without rupture are called as rigid road pavements. Now when concrete road surface or concrete roads, they are subjected to the heavy compressive traffic load, definitely if bearing capacity of concrete road that is less than the applied traffic load, failure will take place or rupture will take place. Now this rupture or this failure will take place how? You'll find that complete rupture has taken place. That means what? One layer has been divided into two parts. So this separation, this complete rupture you'll find in case of concrete roads. Basically concrete road pavements, definitely they have better compressive strength as compared to all other types of road pavements. But when failure takes place, that failure will be a complete failure. There will not be a depression form, there will be a complete separation of a layer. So you'll find that one layer is getting divided into two parts. There is a complete breaking of a layer, complete rupture of a layer. So the roads which cannot change their shape without rupture are called as what? Rigid road pavements. Only one category in this you'll find cement concrete roads, they come in the category of what? Rigid road pavements. Again, differentiation between these two, if it is asked, you can easily write 4 points of differentiation between the two. You can write meaning, you can write what are the examples, meaning what are the examples of rigid, and then in addition to that you can always write exactly where these flexible road pavements are used, where exactly these rigid road pavements are used. Nowadays most of the roads you'll find concrete roads or concreting is done, or those roads they are getting converted into the cement concrete roads. So definitely you'll be able to get some advantages and disadvantages of both also. Okay, so this is about the classification of road pavements. So once again let us recall, road pavements are basically classified into three categories. First classification is done on the basis of cost. Second classification is done on the basis of its serviceability, and the third classification is done on the basis of effect under the heavy compressive load, exactly how the failure takes place, whether without rupture or with rupture. On the basis of that, this classification is done, and each is further subdivided into two types, that is according to the cost, low cost, high cost, according to the serviceability, all weather roads, fair weather roads, and according to the effect under the heavy compressive load, it is further subdivided into flexible road payments and rigid road payments. Then we will see exactly how this road payment is. What are the different components or parts of a road payment structure? You'll find that road payment, when it is constructed, we are always connected with the uppermost layer of a road, uppermost surface of a road, that is called as wearing surface or wearing course. That is, this is the part where normally we drive a vehicle. But below that also there are certain courses, certain layers which are constructed to form this road pavement. The bottommost layer, normally if you see any road before construction, you'll find this natural ground level like this. It may be sloping, it may not be in level form. But the first thing what is to be done is you have to form the layer of subgrade first. So here you'll find that ground is uneven, so proper filling is to be done. So subgrade has to be prepared properly with some filling. Here subgrade filling is there. Okay, so subgrade is to be prepared first. Now how this subgrade is to be prepared? Subgrade has to be prepared according to the required gradient, according to the required camber, according to the required super elevation. So all the cross-sectional elements or cross-sectional design of road pavement, those requirements are to be fulfilled right from the subgrade level. For example, a particular road is having camber in 1 in 24. So that 1 in 24 camber is to be maintained right from the subgrade level. First of all, once again, understand the meaning of subgrade. Subgrade is the bottommost layer of road pavement. Point number 1. Second, definition if you want to know, finished surface of earthwork on which the entire road pavement rests is called as subgrade. So normally this subgrade is prepared with the help of soil which is locally available on site itself, or sometimes if some other soil is to be brought to the site, sometimes that soil may be stabilized soil also. So this is the subgrade level. Then what are the functions of a subgrade soil? Basically understand this fact that how foundation soil that plays a role in case of building. What is the meaning of foundation soil? Foundation soil is a layer of soil on which the entire foundation that rests. So subgrade is a layer of soil on which the entire road pavement rests. So entire load of road pavement that will be coming on the layer of this subgrade soil. So this subgrade soil has to withstand all these compressive stresses which are finally transmitted to the subgrade layer. So that is about subgrade. Then layer above subgrade is subbase course. You can see here subbase. Sometimes subgrade is not of good quality. That means exactly what? Subgrade soil which is locally available, its bearing capacity is very low or it is poor. It is not up to the mark. Then in that case we need to add one layer of granular material. It may consist pieces of overburned bricks. Normally it is considered as a wastage in brick manufacturing units. So those broken bricks or wastage of bricks that can be used as a layer of subbase here. So layer of granular material which is constructed above the subgrade is known as subbase. Normally if subgrade is of very good quality, in that case this layer of subbase may be omitted. But if subgrade is of very poor bearing capacity, in that case this layer of subbase is must. It also acts as a layer of transmission between the base course and subgrade. So this is about subbase. Then the next layer is base course. Base course is also called as foundation course of road pavement. Now foundation course means what? How foundation plays important role in case of building. Exactly the same role this foundation course or base course that plays in a road pavement. Basically what does it consist? It consists of single or double layer of boulders, stones. So it may consist single or double layer of stones. These stones, they are placed, they are hand packed, okay, and normally the entire load of this road pavement that comes on this base course. So base course or foundation course has to be strong enough to take this traffic load which is acting on the varying course of road pavement. So this is about base course. Then above base course, there is a surface course which is also called as varying course. Now sometimes what happens, in between base course and surface course or varying course, there may be one more layer of granular material only, and that layer is called as base coat. Sometimes what happens, for varying course, fine aggregates are used. Then in base course, stones are used. So those stones, or in between the stones, there are certain gaps, voids are there. So there are chances that whatever material which you are using for the construction of varying course, that may occupy the places, or that may occupy the gaps between the stones. So there will be a big difference between the grain size of foundation course, base course and varying course. In that case, one more layer of granular material we can add in between base course and varying course, and that course is called as what? Base coat. This layer also consists of a layer of granular material, normally local gravel which is available, or gravel which is available nearby the road construction site. So that gravel, normally it is called as hard murum or soft murum. So granular material which is locally available, that may be used for the construction of base coat. And above base coat, then after that, there is a varying course which consists of layer of fine aggregates, well graded aggregates. These aggregates, they are mixed with binder. That binder may be soil, that binder may be tar or asphalt or cement. So that layer is formed, in that will give you the varying course, that is also called as surface course. So these are the different components of a road pavement structure. Once again, I'll repeat: bottommost layer is subgrade. Above that there is a layer of subbase. Above that there is a layer of base course. Above that, and before varying course or surface course, there may be a layer of base coat, and after that varying course. So these are the 5 layers which are included, or these are the components of a road pavement structure. So each and every road pavement structure, if you consider, ideally it should have 5 layers: 1 subgrade, 2 subbase, 3 base course, 4 base coat, and 5 varying course. Each and every layer has got its own importance, functions, okay. And what kind of material is to be used, that depends upon the design of road pavement. Exactly how much should be the thickness of each layer, that again decided by the designers of road pavement, okay. So next time when we see, we'll discuss exactly what are the different types of road pavements, that is, according to the material, how these road pavements are further subdivided. We are going to discuss earth roads, gravel roads, then waterbound macadam roads, that is WBM roads, then bituminous roads, and finally cement concrete roads. So we'll be discussing features of each type of road, then how these roads they are constructed, as well as how they are maintained. So these features or these roads we'll be discussing in forthcoming lectures. Till now, we have discussed about road pavements, what are the requirements, and what are the components of road pavement structure. Thank you so much.